what's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your sister from another Mr. ThickChickVlogs. And girl, of course, you know we are here to talk about a couple of few things that are going on in the news right now, because that's what the fuck we do, you know what I'm saying? But before we get into what I like to call, you know, the meat and potatoes of the video, I do want to tell you guys, for those of you that are following me on my Facebook page, okay, Facebook has this new thing that they've been doing for the last couple of months. If you are not using your real name, what they are doing now is they're going through periodically, and if you just say, for instance, your name is Sandy, the realest ever Simmons, okay, or Terry Straight Shooter Watkins or something like that. They know that Straight Shooter or whatever else, so blessed, is not your name. So they are requiring you to only use your real name, or they will terminate your account. So of course, those of you that have been following me on Facebook know that I was using ThickChickVlogs, and of course that is not my real name. And I had to change my name on Facebook to my real name, which is Taiwana. A lot of people were asking me in the comment section of videos and things, what is my real name? I have said my real name a couple of times on video, but I don't think people really paid attention to it. But my name is pronounced Taiwana, but everybody calls me Tawana. You know, niggas are like, they can't pronounce some shit right. Y'all know what I'm saying, girl. So my name is Taiwana, for those of you that wanted to know my real name. But I will be deleting that page tomorrow. So if you want to continue to follow me on Facebook, I have created a new like page, and I will leave the like page down in the description box of this video. So if you want to continue to follow me, you need to go to the Show Me More bar and add my new like page, okay? If you're already following me on there, you can go to my timeline, and I, you know, reminded people about that several times, because in the next couple of hours, 24 hours or so, that page will be null and void, and the only way to communicate with me, you know, from here forth will be through my like page. So I do want to stress that. Head down to the Show Me More bar and like my new Facebook page if you want to keep up with your girl on social media. All right, now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this particular video. First, y'all know, bitch, I got to turn off my volume to my phone, because y'all already know as soon as I get to recording, somebody gonna call me or some shit like that, and girl, YouTube gonna get the motherfucking tripping, because they have been tripping lately. But we not even gonna talk about that shit right there, because I don't want to jinx myself. All right, now let's move on to, first and foremost, we're gonna talk about the bullshit first, and then we're gonna get into the more serious topics, you know, because I want us to end on a, you know, a serious note. I don't want to talk about no bullshit at the end of my video. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the bullshit first. All right, so the bullshit that is going on right now is, of course, this Meek Mill and Drake bullshit. And to be honest, I don't even really follow these people on social media. I know a lot of people follow them on, you know, Twitter, Instagram, and whatever else type of social media site that they have. I don't really follow these people on there, especially, you know, motherfuckers who ain't really talking about shit. You know, I just don't. You know, when somebody mentions something to me that is going on, then I'll, you know, go over and check it out and see if it's worth even mentioning, talking about, or whatever. But how I found out about this was, I was listening to the Ricky Smiley morning show, and they actually played a diss track, and bitch, my back is itching. But they actually played a diss track that Drake recorded called Back to Back, you know, basically, you know, slaughtering motherfucking Meek Mill. And I don't know too much about, you know, rap and all this type of shit, but bitch, I know a motherfucking read when I hear a motherfucking read, okay? And he sat there and he slayed the fuck out of Meek Mill in that diss track, okay? But let me, you know, tell y'all how all the bullshit started, because I do have the timeline of how the bullshit started here on my computer right now. So I'm going to be reading as I'm telling you guys, talking to you guys about these stories and things. I'm going to be reading what the fuck is going on off of my computer, okay? Off of my computer. Now, this is how the bullshit started. So it all started when Meek Mill decided to tweet out, "Stop comparing Drake to me." No, stop comparing me to Drake. He don't write his own raps. That's why he ain't tweet my album, because we found out. So this motherfucker basically, he got a little bit salty because Drake didn't tweet his album out. That's where this whole motherfucking bullshit came from. Meek Mill was a little bit salty because Drake didn't tweet out his motherfucking album. So that's why he started out throwing all these motherfucking shots. So Meek Mill started all the bullshit. Since he been dating Nicki Minaj, this nigga done grew 2 extra sets of balls, okay? So he feeling like he's smelling himself now since he dating Nicki Minaj, aka Barbie, whatever the fuck her nickname is, okay? And that's no shade. I just what the fuck they call it, the Barbie or some shit, I don't know. But then he said he ain't even write that verse on my album, and if I would have knew, I would have took it off. I don't trick my fans. When he said the Dream Girl shit on Rico, I thought he was coming at me. Then Young Bull played me the verse. Like I said, all this shit that they going back and forth on, it's just fucking stupid, okay? It's just fucking stupid. And of course, there's a whole lot of other shit going on. And somebody said all this shit fake as fuck. Meek hating, or these credits clearly say Quentin Miller. I'm sick of you fuck ass clowns. It's just a whole lot of shit going on. These are producers that are writing, you know, responses to a lot of these tweets and shit that that Meek Mill was throwing out of there. Because I didn't even see Drake write anything about Meek Mill. Drake just came back with the diss track, okay? But my thing is this. I'm not even going to get no further down into this shit, okay? Tell me this, okay? They're sitting there beefing about whatever the fuck they beefing about this idiotic ass shit. But it's so much shit going on in the world that they could be, you know, bringing to light on social media rather than talking about this stupid ass shit that they be talking about. You know, like some people tell me all the time, like, you know, let's talk about the drama that's going on here, or the drama that's... Sometimes I like to talk about serious ass shit. Like I talked about the Sandra Bland case. I've talked about, you know, the shit that's going on with Bill Cosby. A lot of different things that are going on that, you know, people want to know about. So it's okay for us to talk about the drama sometimes, but sometimes I want to talk about more serious shit too. And they have a very, very huge platform that they can be using for a lot more positivity. But of course, I'm pretty sure all this beef shit got a lot to do with somebody's album dropping, and people want to go and buy the shit because they want to hear what the fuck going on. Of course, Meek Mill probably saying that verse he wrote on my album, I found out he didn't even write it. So of course, people gonna probably go and try to buy the shit so they can be like, oh, we need to go and get this shit. You know, all this shit sometimes is a motherfucking publicity stunt. But I don't know shit about Meek Mill. I don't know shit about Drake. And I can care less about this fucking diss shit that they got going on. To be true, it would be a Holyfield. So that's all I got for you on the Drake and Meek Mill shit. Alright, so now we're going to move into this next situation that is going on that you guys, I'm pretty sure, have seen on your Facebook timelines or have heard on the news, because, bitch, people are all up in arms. Okay, and I know y'all, I know some people going to probably get mad at your girl about this, but look, okay, I can totally get that some people might be real, you know, Peter advocates or whatever, but you know, we family. Me and you, we are family. If you watching this video, we are family. So you can get mad at me today, but bitch, you need to come back tomorrow so we can make up, kiss and make up, because that's what family members do. Okay, they get pissed at each other and then they come back the next day and, you know, motherfucker, bitch, I'm sorry about what the fuck we did yesterday. Because me and my sister do that shit all the time. We get mad at each other. We might cuss each other out. We might stop talking to each other for a couple of days, and bitch, bitch, we are sisters. Okay, bitch, if you go out there and get in a motherfucking fight, I can be mad as fuck at you. But bitch, if somebody jumping you, bitch, oh, they gonna have to jump both of us. That's just how we are as family. So get mad at me for what I'm about to say. It's cool. But bitch, come back tomorrow and let's kiss and make the fuck up, okay? That's what family members do. Quit bullshitting. So we're gonna talk about this man, okay? This fucking Dennis, who is he from Zimbabwe? I don't even fucking know. But he killed this lion, Cecil the Lion. This is a famous lion who he was in movies and different shit like this. And this man went over there. Well, he was already over there because he lived over there, and he killed Cecil the Lion. He actually lured the lion with a dead animal and killed it. Okay, which I think is a fucked up ass thing to do. Number one, I really don't understand the purpose of people killing lions and shit. Now, if you're out somewhere and you're fucking with the lion and the lion attacks you, you can't really blame the lion, because the lion is in their natural habitat. Now, I can see if you just walking down the road just randomly in your fucking neighborhood and a lion just come out of fucking nowhere and you got your concealed carry on and you bust his ass. Because I'm not finna let no motherfucking lion just attack the fuck out of me and I'm walking in my neighborhood. Now, if I'm in Africa or some shit, out there fucking with them lions and shit, and they attack me, that's my fault. But if I'm walking down the street in my neighborhood, just a fucking rural-ass neighborhood, don't no motherfucking lions belong out here in the goddamn, you know, just walking on the streets and shit. Now, if one of them try to jump on me, then it's okay if I bust a cabinet there and no split his motherfucking kitchen. That's okay. But if you just going to, you know, lure a lion out of his natural habitat and kill it, that's a fucking issue. And apparently he paid like $50,000 for this hunt. So he's a rich, privileged motherfucker, a motherfucker who thinks that it's, you know, he probably wanted to kill this lion so he can goddamn cut the head off and show some shit and put it on his wall in his big fancy house. Now this man is a dentist, okay? And bitch, let me tell you something. Matter of fact, before I even get into all that, because bitch, y'all know I go on a rabbit hole in a motherfucking minute. I want to read you a little bit about, you know, what's going on, you know, in the story or whatever. Okay, it said 2 men have been arrested in the death of Cecil the Lion. A case in which an American dentist, oh bitch, he's an American. See, that just goes to show, bitch, I haven't even read up on this shit for real. He's an American dentist. I was thinking he lived in Zimbabwe, but he was visiting Zimbabwe. So he's an American dentist. In the case in which an American dentist has also been accused unleashing a torrent of anger online. We're going to talk about that torrent of anger in a second, okay? Were released Wednesday by a court in Zimbabwe on $1,000 bail each. So their bail was $1,000, okay? The man spent $50,000 to go over there and fucking hunt. So $1,000, that's motherfucking pennies, okay, to this dude, okay? So Theo Bronkhorst, so however you pronounce his name, a professional hunter, an honest Tyrone, I ain't even gonna try to pronounce his last name, a landowner, both Zimbabweans said through their attorney that they were innocent of poaching charges, which officials said could bring a sentence of 10 years in prison. So it says they're both Zimbabwean, so I was correct. He is from Zimbabwe, but he's a dentist in America. So I was right. For those of you who might be trying to correct me already in the comments section, bitch, why you down there motherfucker with your motherfucker typing and shit, you know what I'm saying, bitch? I was correct, okay? So let's move on. It says Zimbabwean authorities said that Walter J. Palmer, a dentist from Minnesota, paid at least $50,000 for the hunt. Palmer has said he relied on the expertise of local guides to ensure a legal hunt. But the lion that he and his local guides killed wasn't just any lion, according to Zimbabwean officials. Okay? He was Cecil, a major tourist draw at Zimbabwe's national park. The 13-year-old lion, recognizable by the black streaks in his mane, suffered a slow death, according to the Zimbabwe Conservation Task Force. The hunters lured him out of the sanctuary of the park with a dead animal on top of a vehicle. So, hold the fuck on. Okay, I was thinking the lion was in its natural habitat out in the wild or something. I told y'all I didn't read up on this shit. This shit is raw right here. Now, y'all know how the fuck I do. So, you went to a motherfucking national park with a dead animal on top of your car. And you said, you paid $50,000 to ensure a legal hunt. So you went over there to a national park where this lion was, where you knew this motherfucking lion lived and was a tourist attraction with a fucking dead animal on your motherfucker. Okay. Palmer officials said then they shot the lion with a crossbow, a method for which he is known. But Cecil survived another 40 hours until the hunters tracked him down and shot him with a gun. So they shot him with the bow and arrow, the crossbow, and then of course the lion ran off. You know, motherfucker, you shoot me, bitch, I'm in the wrong because I'm thinking you finna shoot me again. I got to get the fuck away from you. You know what I'm saying? And he went in the wood, wherever he went, laid down and suffered, and they went and tracked him, I guess from the blood, and shot him with a gun. Okay, so. And of course, they posted the pictures up on the internet, and then they skinned him and they beheaded him, and they tried to destroy the GPS collar that Cecil was wearing as part of research backed by Oxford University. The group said, I had no idea that the lion I took was a known local favorite and was collared and part of a study until the end of the hunt. I relied on the expertise of my local professional guides to ensure a legal hunt. But anyway, okay, that's basically, I'm not even going to read the rest of this bullshit. But number one, sir, it's a fucked up situation that you went over there to Zimbabwe. I know that's where you're from. But you went to a national park and you lured a fucking lion from this park that you, I mean, even if you didn't claim you didn't know that this was Cecil the Lion, the fucking, you know, famous lion, quote unquote. If you didn't even know that, but you gonna sit there and talk about you to ensure it legal. Motherfucker, you knew there was some type of, that lion meant something to some damn body. He's in a fucking national park, okay? But you felt like because you had a lot of fucking money, you felt like you could get away with this bullshit. And he got more pictures of him posing with like these big ass rams and shit. Like I said, I think it's okay to go and kill deer, you know, shit like that, you know, elk, little shit like that, you know, because there's a whole bunch of them hoes. But if you just going around here randomly killing lions and shit, that is an issue. That is a very, very serious issue, and I think it's a fucked up thing that you're doing. That you around here killing fucking lions and shit. I mean, I just don't understand it. I think people are sick in the head that just feel like they need to go out there and kill these big game animals. Just like people go and kill elephants and shit. Why? What the fuck are you going killing elephants for? But what I also think is fucked up about this story, you know, there's a whole lot of outrage going on the news and on the internet and shit like that about this guy killing this lion. A lot more outrage than is going on about people, innocent people being killed. And I think that's fucked up. You have so many motherfucking Americans, I don't care black, white, or other. It's not a race issue for me. But you have a lot of people, Americans, human beings that are more outraged when a fucking dog or animal or something is killed than they are when a fucking human being is killed. Okay, and I think that's a fucked up ass situation. Do I think this man needs to be punished? Yes, because it was a fucked up thing that he did. But I also think that people need to step back and they need to look at the fucking reality of a lot of situations. Motherfucker, we are, you know, glorifying an animal more than we glorify a human's life. And I think that's a very, very fucked up way to be. But we're going to move on because I done spent a whole lot of time talking about Cecil the motherfucking Lion. Y'all already know this video is going to be long as shit. This is probably going to be over an hour-long video. The juice man told me, bitch, you need to get... Well, he didn't call me a bitch. Y'all know how I talk, girl. I'm talking to y'all like y'all my girlfriends, okay? But juice man was like, you need to get a fucking radio show because he was like, your fucking videos be way too fucking long. And girl, I know they do. And this is going to be even longer. When I'm already at damn near 20 minutes and I'm only on one story and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 more to talk about, girl. So you can already see the length of this motherfucking video, girl. So, but we're going to move on swiftly and motherfucking professionally. But what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to take a little bit of a commercial break because I'm already needing to purge this little bit of footage that we have on here. But since we finna take a commercial break, what you can do, you can head on over and like my motherfucking Facebook page. The link will be down in the description box below. We'll be back in 5, 4, 3, 2, and... Alright guys, so we are back. Hopefully you went over and liked that Facebook page. But the next story that we are going to talk about is this young man named Kendrick Johnson. I do not know if you guys remember who Kendrick Johnson is or not. Hopefully you do. Hopefully his memory has not faded off of the face of the earth and you guys remember who Kendrick Johnson is. But just in case you do not remember who he is, Kendrick Johnson is a young man who was found rolled up in the gym mat in Georgia. If you guys don't remember, this happened like January of 2013 if I'm not mistaken. But they have reopened. Well, they never did close the case because the case was I mean, it's a murder. You know, there's no question about that. Because the way this young man was rolled up into the mat, someone rolled him up into that mat. He didn't just fall and the mat rolled up like that. And come on, and he died. Come on, I mean, please. He was a teenage boy who could have easily gotten himself out of that mat. I mean, the whole story is stupid. But if you guys, well, not the actual situation, but the reasoning that they're giving people as to why he is dead is dumb as hell. It has been rumored, well, it's not a rumor, it's true, that 2 of the young men who allegedly had something to do with it, people are alleging had something to do with it, their parents are FBI agents, and they're saying all of this is definitely a cover-up. But I'm going to read you something about something they're doing right now, as it pertains to Kendrick Johnson's case, because This case does not need to be closed. This needs to be further is that a word, bitch? Further investigated, because there is some foul play that happened to this young man, and it needs to be found out, and whoever did it needs to be prosecuted. But the feds are seizing emails and phones as it pertains to the Kendrick Johnson situation. But I'm going to read you a little bit about what's going on, and it's going to be something that we're definitely going to be following. So we'll be talking about this in upcoming videos. So you guys look out for that. So it said Kendrick Johnson was found dead, of course, in the Valdosta High School gym in January 2013 in Lowndes County. Investigators ruled as an accident while reaching for a shoe at the center of a rolled gym mat. Johnson got stuck and died of positional asphyxia, which means he suffocated. Come on, please. So, but Johnson's family believed otherwise. Back then, they knew that was bullshit. So they called for a second autopsy, and that second autopsy showed that he died of unexplained, apparent, non-accidental, blunt force trauma, which means somebody hit him in his head or did something to him, and that is how he died. But just in case you guys don't know, let me tell y'all a little bit of a secret, just in case you might not know. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, what they call organ poaching or whatever they call it, where they take people's records and they find out your blood type, they find out all this different type of stuff, and you get rich people who go and kill folk. Okay, they go and kill people for their organs. Just say, for instance, a billionaire, okay, is my exact match for my I'm an exact donor match. They, you know, you get people who pay for hospital records of people. It's illegal to do that, but money talks and bullshit walks. Just in case you guys do not know that or did not know that, money talks and bullshit walks. Therefore, if a billionaire come and offer somebody $50 million for somebody's donor records and go and tell somebody that they will pay them $20 million to go and kill that person and remove their organs, guess what? You a dead motherfucker, okay? And they have been doing that for years. And the shit is very, very, very scary, okay? But the fucked up thing about this is when they did the autopsy on this young man, tell me why this young man's body was stuffed with newspapers. Now you tell me what the fuck that sounds like to you. Does that not sound like organ poaching or whatever they call it, where they're stealing organs from someone? Whether or not somebody found out this young man was a donor for somebody, a perfect match, and somebody had some money and they decided to, you know, kill him and steal his organs, you tell me why you would give me my child back with missing his organs. I understand that you have to, you know, examine things in order to give a, you know, a positive, an accurate autopsy report. But bitch, put him back inside of it. Why he stuffed with newspapers? Y'all stay woke, motherfucker. Stay woke around this bitch. Just saying. But tell me that's not what that sounds like to you. Non-accidental blunt force trauma. On Tuesday and Wednesday, more than 2 years after the high school basketball player's death, U.S. Marshals presented a warrant to Lowndes County IT offices to seize emails and phone records related to the teen's death. So, Johnson's parents haven't given up the fight to determine, I wouldn't either, whether their son on the January day 2 years ago, to determine what happened to their son on that January day 2 years ago. Earlier this year, the parents filed a $100 million lawsuit that accuses two former schoolmates who are brothers and their father, who is a local FBI agent, of wrongful death. Did you hear that? They filed a $100 million lawsuit that accuses two former schoolmates who are brothers, okay, and their father, who is a local FBI agent. We gonna leave that right the fuck right there. I'm telling y'all. So I'm definitely gonna be following this story. Thank you to the young lady who sent it to me. I forgot your name. I think her name was Ebony Williams, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry, I'm putting your Goodman on YouTube, girl. But I think it was Ebony Williams who told me to talk about this story, and I'm glad that you did. It did, because I haven't forgot about it. But you know how sometimes the media will put so much shit out there and it'll kind of detract your mind, you know what I'm saying, which is a fucked up thing, because, you know, they know that we can only process so much at a time. So, yeah, the media put out a whole lot of shit in there, you know, to detract us from some shit. That's just like the Sandra Bland situation that's going on right now. It's gonna be some more fucked up shit that's gonna go on, and people just gonna be, they mind is gonna completely dismiss Sandra Bland. Fucked up, but it's the truth, okay? But now we're gonna talk about the University of Cincinnati, the University of Cincinnati police officer, the university police officer who shot and killed a black man after a routine traffic stop. And of course, the man was unarmed, okay? It was an unarmed black man. But I'm going to read you a little bit about the story in case you have not heard, because I want to give accurate information. It says an unarmed black man was shot and killed on Sunday by a white officer after he was pulled over for missing his front license plate. It's fucked up that we getting killed for little stupid shit like this. Okay, it says Samuel Dubose, who was 43 years old, was stopped by University of Cincinnati officer Ray Tenzing on Sunday evening. Tenzing repeatedly asked Dubose for his driver's license, but according to the Cincinnati Police Department, he refused and instead handed the officer a bottle of alcohol, which was, if that did happen, that was very, you know, stupid to do that. It was very, very stupid to hand the officer a bottle of alcohol instead of giving him your driver's license, you know what I'm saying? If that, in fact, did happen, you know. If it didn't happen, of course, they sometimes report false information, but if it did happen, that was a fucked up situation. We can all say that that was a fucked up ass situation if that did happen, okay? It said then Tenzing asked Dubose to get out of his car, which he also refused to do, which does not equal a death sentence. It said there was a struggle at the door. I don't know, they was tussling. This is what this officer said, but they later found out that this motherfucker lied about a whole lot of other shit. So I don't necessarily believe the shit that he's saying as far as even the man tried to hand him a bottle of alcohol. I was just saying that if it did happen, it was fucked up. But this motherfucker lied later on in his story. So I don't necessarily believe it was probably even a struggle at the fucking door. But I guess we'll, you know, they got dash cam footage or whatever, so I guess we'll see that. Is that there was a struggle at the door with Mr. Dubose in the vehicle and the officer outside of the vehicle, and the vehicle sped away. So the man was driving away, which I understand. Running from the police is not a very smart thing to do. Okay, it's not smart at all. But running from the police does not equal death. Just so you motherfucking know, it equals a high-speed chase, and we gonna take your motherfucking ass down to the county, but it don't equal death. Okay, just in case the motherfuckers confused around here, it don't equal death. So Tenzing, the police officer fired one shot, killing Mr. Dubose. Okay? The Cincinnati Police Department, which is investigating the shooting, said that Dubose did not appear to have a weapon. Tenzing was put on administrative leave pending the conclusion of the investigation. On Monday evening, around 75 people were gathered for a vigil to honor Mr. Dubose. Okay. So now we're going to read you a little bit of an update of what happened about that situation. So, bitch, this is going to make you gag, okay? It said the officer, who was found later that he motherfucking lied, of course, about what happened during the traffic stop. So they indicted him on murder charges. I'm going to read you a little bit of that. It says bond was set to $1 million Thursday for a cop turned murder suspect, Ray Tenzing. He will be released from the Hamilton County Jail if he can post 10% of his bail, which is $100,000 in cash and or property. Which I'm pretty sure they probably got motherfucking, you know, a $100,000 house or something sitting around. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna put up for this motherfucking. I just dropped my damn water. Sorry about that. So it says Tenzing, 25. He's only 25 fucking years old, and he's a fucking. Fuck you, motherfucker. Okay, he's 25 years old, and he's an ex-University of Cincinnati police officer, of course, because they fired the fuck out of his ass. He was indicted Wednesday on murder and voluntary manslaughter charges for the fatal shooting of Samuel Dubose. So, I really don't get those murder charges. Sometimes you got first degree, second degree, third degree. I don't, you know, I'm one of those types of people who I don't understand the degrees and shit. But he got murder and voluntary manslaughter charges. So I guess I don't understand how he got both. Don't really get it. But he pleaded not guilty. Motherfucker. He pleaded not guilty and returns to court on August 19th. And if he's convicted, he could spend the rest of his life in jail, basically in prison. So once, you know, they announced that, the family started clapping and stuff, and she told him to be quiet or whatever. But it said he pulled Dubose over for missing the front license plate, and he said that Dubose tried to take off, dragging him. So he lied and said that Samuel Dubose was dragging him. Okay, when he tried to take off, I guess he was saying he got caught in the door with some shit and he was dragging him along. So he fired a shot in self-defense. But the video footage, okay, shows that he shot Dubose in the head without provocation. So, motherfucker, you lying. He did not drag you or nothing. Yes, he took off in the car, but bitch, he was not dragging your ass. You shot this man because he pulled off on you because you're too fucking lazy to do what the fuck you're supposed to do, which is pursue the suspect at hand and take him to jail as you're supposed to fucking do. But you decided that you know, motherfucker, I want to kill me a nigga today. So you shot him. And that's what the fuck you did. And you lied and said that he was dragging you and you shot him in self-defense, which is what a lot of you motherfuckers say. And family, since we are on this story, because I do not want to forget this, there is an app I found out about. There is an app for those of you who are like me. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I've never been in jail, bitch. I've never even had a traffic ticket. Knock on motherfucking wood. But I don't know why I'm afraid of the fucking police. I don't smoke. Bitch, I don't drink other than having me a little daiquiri every now and then. I don't do any of that. I don't do any illegal shit. Bitch, I got insurance. I got a driver license that's up to date, bitch. My tag and shit on point. Bitch, I ain't got nothing that is out of pocket. But I don't know why I'm fucking afraid of the police. Because look at all the shit that's going on in the United States, hell, in the world, that the police officers are doing to innocent people. I don't trust these motherfuckers at all. Half of these motherfuckers walking around here outside of their police uniform, they walking around here with their goddamn white robe and shit on, or and motherfucker, I ain't got time for that. Or flying their Confederate flags at their cribbo. And I'm supposed to feel comfortable with you, you know, goddamn having this goddamn gun at your side when you pulling me up, motherfucker. I don't trust you. But for those of you that are like me, there is an app, okay? If you have an Android phone or if you have an iPhone or something like that, there is an app that you can download, because you know a lot of times and just so you guys know, in case you didn't, it is your constitutional right to record a police officer during a traffic stop, as long as you're not hindering their investigation. So if you're just sitting there and you're just randomly recording, okay, and the police officer's talking to you and giving you a ticket or something like that, it is your constitutional right to be able to record that police officer, as long as you're not interrupting what he's doing, his duties, his job. Okay, as long as you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're not, you know, interrupting what he's doing or, you know, hindering his investigation, then you have the legal right to record him. Do not let a police officer tell you that you cannot record a situation. Okay, do not do that. But sometimes they will sit there and try to take your phone from you, which is illegal. They'll try to take your phone from you and they will try to delete the video footage that you have on your phone. Okay, yes, they do try to do that shit. They say, give me your phone. And they'll sit there and delete the shit out the phone, so you have no more fucking evidence. But there's an app that you can download, and this ain't no sponsored video. Ain't nobody pay me to say this shit or nothing like that. I just found out about the fucking app today myself from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. The app is called Mobile Justice. Okay, Mobile Justice. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it up right now on my Play Store so you guys can see exactly what it looks like, because I haven't downloaded it just yet. But what this app does is you can record using this app, and if the police officer takes your phone from you and deletes your video out of your phone, the video is automatically saved to your app. If it's deleted from your phone, it's still saved to your app center. So download Mobile Justice. You're not going to be able to even see that. It's called Mobile Justice. This one says California and Missouri, but there is another one on here. Hold on. Okay. Here it is. It's called Mobile Justice. Go on your phone. You're not going to be able to see it. But go on your phone and download Mobile Justice, and you'll be able to use that app to record police officers if it, you know, just so happens to come to that situation. All right. Now we're going to move on to the next story, but we're definitely going to be following this situation that's going on with the murder suspect Ray Tensing and Samuel Dubose down there up there in Cincinnati, Ohio. We will definitely be following that story right there to see how everything like that pans out, because he's a fucking liar. And we will definitely be following that to make sure justice is fucking served. Now we're going to move on. The next thing that we're going to talk about, in case you guys have not heard about this as well, is, well, you know what? I'm going to talk about this other story first, because I'm going to need to, bitch. I'm going to quit being trifling and go get me a fucking another, SIM card, because I'm already at 40 fucking minutes, and I have 3 more stories to talk about, bitch. I already know I'm long-winded, and the juice. Did I talk about this in the beginning of the video? Juice Man told me I need to get me a fucking radio show because that's all too much. Yes, he did. But I might think about that. But girl, that's too much fucking work. I got too much shit going on. I ain't got time to do that. Okay. But we're gonna talk about this really quickly, and then I'm gonna upload this part, and then we're gonna keep it moving with the last 2 stories. Have you guys heard about this 100 days, 100 nights situation that's going on in South LA? Apparently there was a gang member that got killed on Saturday or something like that. I forgot the exact day that he got killed. And the rival gang members have vowed to 100 days and 100 nights of gang violence. They're threatening to kill a person a day for 100 days and 100 nights. That's the rumor, the alleged rumor that is going around on social media. People are scared and shit. I mean, naturally, even if it's a fucking rumor, even hearing some shit like that is going on in your general area, it's scary. It makes you scared to go outside, because I mean, they say ain't nobody safe. This is what the rumor is. Nobody's safe. I don't give a damn if you a gang member, a child, an old person, man or woman. Ain't nobody safe around this piece. So it says the photographs went online earlier this month after a 27-year-old man was gunned down in South Los Angeles. One showed a man flashing a chrome handgun from his jacket pocket, and another, a young man, held a pistol in each hand. Better wake up, one person wrote on Instagram. It's a war going on. This area ain't safe right now. Someone else posted with a map showing a portion of South LA. The warnings of increased gang violence intensified across social media platforms this weekend after more than a half a dozen shootings in South LA left 1 man dead and 12 people wounded. Okay, so it's a whole lot more going on here, but you can Google 100 days and 100 nights. You can find out more about the whole situation. But I do want to tell people, of course, be 100% cautious and safe if you live in South LA at this particular point in time. And bitch, that shit made me think about was the Ice Group that sung that song? I ain't even have to use my AK in South Central LA. Today was a good day. And that makes you know what, I be wanting to move to have some of these places, sometimes not no South Central LA or nothing like that, no violent place or nothing like that, but sometimes it makes you think like, motherfucker, people, I mean, I couldn't imagine living nowhere like that. Bitch, we had farms and shit. We sat out on the porch, left our doors unlocked. Bitch, you can't do that type of shit in, these types of places. And it's really scary to know that you can't even live your fucking life because you got to be worried about walking out of your door and somebody feeling like they having some shit to prove and just blow your fucking head off because they got this competition going on or some shit. But I also want to tell people that, I don't know if you guys remember this, a couple of years ago, there was the same type of rumor thing that was going on where they were saying that these gangs were threatening to just kill innocent people or whatever, and they said that the rumor was actually started by the LAPD. Now, I don't know how fucking true that is. Of course, the bitch, I'm gossiping just like the rest of these motherfuckers. But I'm just saying that was the word back in the day. They also said that a lot of the LAPD, they said them motherfucking police officers was damn stealing gang members' cars, going and doing drive-bys and shit, girl, because they knew the fucking, okay, if you go and steal a car and you do a drive-by around the at the rival gang members part of town, and they see your car, they gonna be like, oh shit, that was this nigga that came over here and shot Jumbo. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna go over there and try to shoot Jumbo. They said them fucking police officers were stealing gang members' cars and shit, going doing drive-bys. How true that shit was, I don't know. But like I said, I just want people to motherfucker just stay woke, be alert over there in South LA. If you live in South LA, be very, very careful, because you can't, I mean, I know they say that's a rumor, but you can't be too careful nowadays. But stay woke around this motherfucker, okay? That's just hashtag. If you want to read more about it, you can Google it, or you can go on Twitter and you can hashtag 100 days, 100 nights, and there's a whole lot of stories and things that are going on over there on Twitter about the 100 days, 100 nights. Okay, so you can go and read that if you want to. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and upload this, and we got 2 more stories to do, and then bitch, I'm gonna be done. I promise I'm gonna be done. I know y'all probably tired of these long ass videos, and I'm sorry. I probably need to start breaking these motherfuckers up a little bit more instead of doing these long ones. We'll see. Y'all let me know down in the comment section what you think about me breaking up the videos, or if you're okay with me doing these long ones. Okay, we'll see. But yeah, let me go ahead and do this, and I'll see y'all back in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, family, we are back. The next thing that we are going to discuss today is going to be about these daycare workers, girl, who left these people's baby in the damn daycare and locked it up. Yes, you heard me right. They left. Imagine you taking your baby to the daycare, okay? You running a little bit late, or just say, for instance, you know, think your husband gonna pick up the baby, your husband think you picking up the baby, and because these motherfuckers they gotta go, you know, they got some other shit that they gotta do, even though you work in a fucking daycare, you can't fucking just leave people's children inside of the daycare and lock the fucking door. Yes, you just heard that correctly. They left these people's 10-month-old inside of the daycare because the parents were 45 minutes late coming to pick the baby up, and they locked the baby inside the daycare in the crib, and they left. Bitch. You heard that right, but I'm gonna read you what the fuck popped off, and I want y'all to chime in down in the comment section below about what you would have done, bitch. And of course, the parents did some heroic ass shit. They motherfucker fuck calling the cops to come get my baby. I hit my baby and they're crying. They bust the motherfucking windows out, which any respectable parent would have done as well, motherfucker. I would have got them, motherfucker. Girl, it says a Texas daycare is under fire after a mother claimed her baby was left alone inside after the business closed for the day. Sharonda Ross said she and her husband had recently went to pick up their 10-month-old son Jordan from Joanne's daycare and camp in Houston about 45 minutes after they closed. She said they were running late because she originally thought her husband had already picked up the child. When she realized he had not, the pair hurried over to the daycare. When they arrived, the doors were locked, okay? And the baby was alone inside, crying in a crib. Pull up to the daycare, the door was locked, ain't nobody in there, and my baby is in there crying in the crib. Rage. That shit would have been instant motherfucking rage. I'm just gonna tell you. She said, I put my phone on record and started recording it. He breaks the window, and then we start breaking the glass out. He goes in, and I'm still recording it the whole time. He comes back, and there's my baby just left. Joanne Davis, who's the owner of the daycare, said she is deeply and terribly sorry, and she's glad the baby is okay. She also said that the employee who, left the baby will not be fired. Bitch. Okay. I want y'all to tell me what the fuck going through your head right now. You mean to tell me that I know a couple of people who have children who are in daycares who have been running a little bit late. The most the daycare can do is charge you extra. Most daycares that I know of, this shit, them motherfuckers, they be charging you an arm and a leg. They'll charge you $5 per minute if you late coming to get your child, because they know that you ain't trying to pay them motherfucking late fees, so they know you gonna be there on time. And if you ain't there, somebody else gonna be there to pick the baby up for you. You know what I'm saying? Because they know you ain't trying to pay them late fees. But under no circumstances can you leave children inside of a daycare because the parents are late coming to pick them up. I'm sorry. Pook and them, little sister, that you had some other shit that you had to go home to do, so you decided that you wanted to leave my baby inside the daycare. Hell to the fuck no. Bitch, that would have been instant fucking rage. I don't even know what the fuck bitch, I would have fucking, oh girl, I don't even know, bitch. That's some, I ain't never heard of no shit like this. I know we hear some crazy ass shit that goes on in the news, but bitch, I have never in my entire life heard of no shit like this ever happening. But all I can say is that shit would have been instant rage, and I will sue the fuck out of this daycare. But of course, looking at the daycare, they don't look like they got a whole lot of money. No fucking way. So I don't really know what she would gain from it, but them bitches will be closed the fuck down. The fuck you mean you ain't finna fire the employee for leaving a fucking 10-month-old baby in the crib by themselves? Really? What the fuck they do that? If you felt like the parents had abandoned the baby, the least you should have did was call the fucking cops, call the authorities and said, okay, the parents haven't showed up to claim their baby, but bitch, it's been 45 minutes. I know people who've been an hour late picking up their fucking kids, and you gonna tell me after 45 minutes, oh well, I'm gonna lock his little ass up in here, and then for you to not get fired? This is a crazy ass fucking story, family. If you want to, read up on it yourself, it's titled Daycare Accused of Closing, Leaving Baby Alone Inside. If you guys want to, head over there and check out this story, you are more than welcome to do so. Okay, but that is the title of the video, just in case you guys want to head over there and check that out. Okay, now the last thing that we're going to talk about, because I'm pretty sure you guys are tired of me fucking running my fucking mouth. I know that you are. It's okay though, girl. We are going to be done in a few minutes. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this on your timelines as well, about 2 missing teenagers who went missing off the Florida coast. They went fishing by themselves, which is that right there alone fucked me up. When I found out that these kids were 14 years old, I know one was 14, and I don't know if how the other one was. I think they were around the same age. I think they were both 14. They decided to go fishing off the Florida coast alone. Okay, and the parents said that they're avid fishermen. They've been fishing by themselves for a long time. They have their boater certification. I do not care. I would not let my children go alone in the fucking ocean. Okay, fishing. I'm sorry. I just could not fucking allow that. And the teens left around, I think, 10 a.m. or something like that. They checked in with their parents at 11 a.m. and they never got back home, so the parents reported them missing at around 5 p.m. So the Coast Guard and things went out there, and after searching there, they found the kids' boat capsized, turned over, whatever, but there was no sign of the teenagers, nowhere. Now they did say it was one of the life jackets was missing, and some of the food and stuff that was on the boat was missing. They also said that the teens were seen purchasing like $100 worth of gas or something. They must have was planning to go pretty far if they got that much gasoline. But it has been a $100,000 reward issued for their safe return. They want a lot of people to be out there helping these teenagers, helping the Coast Guard and people to locate these teenagers. And now I know a lot of people are saying they're dead, but let me tell you something. There is a very, very great possibility that they might not be dead, and let me explain why I say that. There have been several people. Matter of fact, there were some teenagers. I think it was in North Carolina. Was it North Carolina? It was somewhere. There were some teens, or was it Georgia? I forgot where it was. But there were some teens who went missing out to sea for 6 days, and they were not captured, talking like they escaped or something. They were rescued alive. So it is a very, very real possibility that the teens can be alive. Prayer works, I understand, but they have not been found. But it's also a great possibility that they also drowned as well. But I think it's very, very crazy to allow 14-year-old teens to leave in a 19-foot boat. They was in a 19-foot boat. I understand that they had their little boater certifications or whatever, but I think it was very, very irresponsible for these kids to have been out there alone in this big-ass body of water by themselves fishing. I just think it was fucked up. And they said, the parents said they think that they veered off of the route that they said that they were originally going to take. So they went a little bit further than it was supposed to go, and it was like 100-foot waves and things like that, and that had a lot to do with, the boat flipping over and things like that. So, but there's a possibility that the kids could still be alive. I really pray that they are, but the odds are really not in their favor at this particular point in time. But prayer works, and it's just a really, really sad and bad situation that these kids were out there alone in this big ass body of water. I just really think that was a very, very irresponsible thing to do. But it's a horrible, horrible thing that has happened to them, and I really, really hope and pray that they are found safe and sound. So yeah, that is pretty much all that I had to talk about on today's video. I do want to say again, for those of you that are following me on Facebook and who want to continue to follow me on Facebook, head on over to my like page on Facebook. I will leave the link down in the description box below for you guys to head on over to like that page, because if you are my friend right now, you will no longer be my friend after tomorrow, because the page will no longer be there. I do also want to ask you guys this very, very serious question. How do you guys feel about me recording these really, really long videos? I know some people may not like the long videos. Some people are very, very what they say, they got ADHD. Motherfuckers can't, you know, watch shit for a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know how you guys feel about watching these long videos, or do you think that they should be split up into different, you know, topics or whatever? But I really think that it would be more interesting for me to keep it at the long videos. But I just want to hear you guys' opinions. I'm not saying I'm going to stop doing these long videos, but I just want to know how you guys feel about it, okay? So I will talk to you guys in the next video. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it on your Facebook, on your Twitter, on your Instagram, whatever else you can share it on. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.